It was a cold morning in a small American town, the kind of morning where the wind whispered loneliness through the empty streets. A little boy named Ethan, only 7 years old, stood at the corner of his street clutching the strap of his worn-out blue backpack. His shoes were a bit too big, his sweater slightly torn at the sleeves, and his eyes carried the quiet fear of a child who had learned too soon that the world wasn't always kind. The school bell was still far from ringing, but Ethan wasn't moving. He just stood there, staring at the long road that led to his elementary school, a road that he dreaded walking alone. Before we go further, if you believe in kindness, in second chances, and in the power of compassion that can change a life, then please take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe to this channel. Your support helps us spread more stories that remind the world how love still exists in the most unexpected places. For weeks, Ethan had been trying to hide the truth from his mother. Each morning he'd pretend to have a stomachache or claim he'd lost a shoe, just to delay the walk to school. But the real reason was something he couldn't bring himself to say. A group of older boys who made his life miserable every single day. They'd wait for him at the corner near the diner, mocking him, pushing him, calling him names. They'd knock his books to the ground, sometimes steal his lunch, and once even threw his cap into a puddle while laughing. Ethan was small, quiet, and alone, the perfect target. His father had left years ago, and his mom worked double shifts at the diner just across the street to keep the lights on. She had no idea that the same street she worked on had become a place of fear for her son. That particular morning, Ethan decided something had to change. His small heart couldn't take the fear anymore. He waited by the diner's parking lot, his hands trembling, his lips quivering in the cold. He had seen them there before, the bikers. Big men with leather jackets, loud engines, and tattoos that scared most people. The locals whispered about them, saying they were a gang, troublemakers, outcasts. But Ethan had noticed something different. He'd seen them help people push cars out of the snow, pay for a veteran's coffee, and once even stop traffic to help an old lady cross the road. To Ethan, they didn't look scary. They looked strong, like the kind of people who could make others stop being mean. As the sun rose, the sound of roaring engines filled the air. The bikers were gathering, their chrome bikes gleaming in the morning light. Ethan took a deep breath and walked toward them. His little feet felt heavy, his heart racing in his chest. The biggest of the bikers, a man with a silver beard and tattooed arms, noticed him. He turned off his bike and knelt down so he could see Ethan's face. "Hey, kid." His voice was deep but kind. "You lost?" Ethan shook his head, his small voice barely a whisper. "No, sir. I need help." The biker's eyes softened. "What kind of help, little man?" Ethan looked down, gripping his backpack tighter. "Can you walk me to school so I feel safe?" For a moment there was silence. The other bikers looked at each other, surprised. The big man smiled gently, then stood up and said to his group, "Boys, looks like we got a job to do." And that was the beginning of something no one in town would ever forget. The next morning, the rumble of a dozen motorcycles echoed through the neighborhood. People peeked out of their windows, shocked to see a convoy of bikers riding slowly down the street. In the middle of them was Ethan, sitting proudly on the back of one of the bikes, wearing a helmet that looked far too big for his tiny head. The townspeople couldn't believe what they were seeing, the so-called rough bikers escorting a 7-year-old boy to school like an army of protectors. When they arrived at the school, the bullies who had tormented Ethan stood frozen. They couldn't even lift their heads. The bikers parked their motorcycles in a line, their jackets bearing patches that read "Guardians of the Road." The leader, the man with the silver beard, got off his bike, took Ethan's backpack, and walked him right up to the school gate. Every teacher, every student, and even the principal stood watching. Ethan didn't need to say anything. His smile said it all. For the first time in months, he felt safe. Word spread quickly through the town. Parents, teachers, and even local reporters began talking about the biker angels. Every morning, for the next several weeks, the bikers showed up at Ethan's house, waiting for him with smiles and laughter. They didn't just walk him to school. They became his friends, his protectors, and his biggest cheerleaders. One of them taught him how to tie his shoelaces properly, another helped fix his broken bicycle, and one even came to his school's science fair to cheer him on. But the story didn't end there. One afternoon, the school principal called Ethan's mother, Sarah, asking if she could come to the school. She arrived nervous, afraid something had gone wrong. But when she walked in, she found Ethan surrounded by classmates who were no longer teasing him. They were talking, laughing, and playing with him. The principal smiled and said, "Mrs. Brooks, I think your son's found his courage." Sarah turned to see the bikers outside the school fence waving proudly. Her eyes filled with tears. She had spent so long worrying about being alone, but now she realized her little boy had found a family she never expected. Still, life wasn't without its challenges. Some parents complained to the school about dangerous men hanging around, saying the bikers weren't a good influence. But Ethan's mom stood up for them. She told everyone how these men had given her son something no one else could, confidence and safety. The town soon began to see them differently. The bikers started organizing charity, rides for kids, donating to local schools, and even repairing the playgrounds. Their image transformed completely. They were no longer seen as outcasts. They became symbols of strength and kindness. A few months later, tragedy struck when Ethan's mother fell ill and had to be hospitalized for a few weeks. Ethan was scared and lonely again, but the bikers didn't let him face it alone. They took turns picking him up from school, cooking him meals, helping him with homework, and making sure he was okay. Every night, the sound of a motorcycle engine outside his window reminded him that he wasn't alone anymore. The man with the silver beard, whom Ethan now called Grandpa Mike, told him stories about life on the road, about brotherhood, and about always protecting those who can't protect themselves. One morning, Ethan asked Grandpa Mike why they had done all this for him, a boy they didn't even know. The old biker smiled softly and said, "Because once upon a time, I was that scared little boy too. Someone helped me when I needed it most. Now it's my turn." The story spread beyond the small town. News outlets picked it up, calling it the biker brotherhood that protected a child. Donations poured in to help support underprivileged kids, and soon, other biker groups across the country began starting similar programs, all because one 7-year-old boy had asked for help. Years passed, and Ethan grew up strong, confident, and kind, carrying with him the lessons those bikers had taught him. He never forgot the sound of those engines, the warmth of their smiles, or the feeling of safety they gave him. And when he graduated high school, he made a promise to himself to always stand up for the scared, the small, and the forgotten. The town eventually built a small playground near the diner, dedicating it to the guardians of the road. A plaque stood at its entrance, engraved with a simple message, "To those who taught us that real strength lies in kindness." Every weekend, bikers still gathered there, polishing their motorcycles, greeting families, and telling the story of a boy who once asked them to walk him to school. One evening, now as a young man, Ethan returned to that playground. The sun was setting, painting the sky in orange and gold. He looked at the plaque, his eyes glistening. He whispered, "Thank you," before walking away with a smile. Behind him, the familiar sound of a motorcycle roared to life, and for a brief moment, he felt like that 7-year-old boy again, holding the hands of his heroes. If this story touched your heart, please don't forget to like this video, share it with someone who believes in the power of kindness, and subscribe to the channel for more inspiring true stories like this one. Before we end, take a moment to comment below. Would you have done what those bikers did if a scared child asked you for help? Because sometimes, the smallest act of courage, even from a frightened 7-year-old, can spark a chain of kindness that changes the world forever.